Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the main event of today's show. This match is a singles match, and it is a first round match in the Royal Tournament. Introducing first, standing to my right, he hails from Kansas City in Kansas, the United Kingdom. Standing tall, 6 feet 4, weighing around 235 pounds. The preacher, Ezekiel Versa.
Did you just say Kansas City, Kansas in the United Kingdom?
And to my left, making his debut in Kingdom of Wrestling from Milwaukee, Wisconsin in the United States, standing tall, 7 feet tall, weighing 125 pounds, Ranma Yoshiro.
Alright, so the preacher's in trouble.
Well, the last time we saw the preacher, he was being yeeted across the ring by Porky, so I don't think he fares too well here either. But he could surprise you.
Not against Ranma Yoshiro. Not a chance. This may be Ranma's debut match in KOW, but Ranma is far from new to the ring. I've had the pleasure of calling a few of his matches over the years, and let me tell you, the preacher ought to just get down and start praying right now. Alright, there we go. We got the bell. Ranma Yoshiro obviously towering over the preacher. Size, power, just wrestling ability miles and miles above what the preacher has ever faced here. It's not good for the preacher. Right there, Ranma right into a quick wrist lock, into a front face lock. However, the preacher pulling back. Nice drop kick. Ranma takes it in stride. Preacher coming off the rope. Preacher going for another drop kick. Ranma Yoshiro taking that one too. Ranma like a brick wall as he stands there. The preacher going for the third drop kick. This one stumbles Ranma. Look at the power the man has as he just waits for the preacher to come back, and a big clothesline laying the preacher out. Went to the well one too many times. Ranma was there waiting for him. Ranma Yoshiro, just pure power, right? What the preacher's going to have to do to beat him. The preacher taking a knee to the gut. Looks like the two men are just going to start throwing blows back and forth right there in the center of the ring. Mia warning him to keep that fist open. It looks like the preacher finally got on top of Ranma Yoshiro coming back up, shoves the preacher back and drives a boot right into his gut. Goes right in for the nasty DDT. The preacher catching that full force on the top of the head. That'll make your neck about an inch shorter. Ranma Yoshiro quick to get up. The preacher thought he was on top. Ranma going ahead and showing him the error of his ways. Perhaps the preacher will start thinking about all the poor life choices he has made to come to this point. And there we go, Ranma Yoshiro right down with that big elbow drop, driving the breath right out of the preacher's body.
I think the preacher better start hoping and praying.
I think the preacher needs a little bit of divine intervention right now. Ranma sending him right into that corner, slamming him up against those turnbuckles. Yoshiro going to the opposite corner now. Charging in, the preacher moving. Ranma slamming into that corner, nobody home. comes charging back. The preacher waiting for the preacher with a big leap and drop kick. Lay it out, Yoshiro. The preacher with a few surprises of his own. He goes in there, comes running out of that corner, big knee drop into the gut of Yoshiro. Yoshiro doubling over as he takes that hard. The preacher's got momentum on his side. He better keep it going. Do not give Yoshiro a chance to recover. Get him, preacher. The preacher on the outside. He is on the apron. And Yoshiro slow to get up. The preacher vaulting over the vaulting moonsault. And he nails Yoshiro with it.
I think at this point that the preacher is going based off of a wing and a prayer.
Is this bad medicine for him? And there we go. The preacher down for the cover. He's only going to get a 1 count right there. Yoshiro not quite that easy. You got to do a bit more damage, preacher.
Have a little bit more faith into the preacher. I mean, yeah, I see you guys are talking about, oh, Ranma has been a world champion somewhere else, but he has never been a king. And this is what the tournament is all about.
Okay, the preacher lost to the big fat guy.
And what's the point? You would lose.
The point is that I have no faith in the preacher. He lost to the big fat guy.
And
Ranma Yoshiro is a badass.
Ranma has not faced the fat guy, so to speak. So how do you know he will beat him?
Ranma and the preacher locked up in the center of the ring now. Jockeying back and forth. Ranma with a huge Irish whip send the preacher into the ropes. The preacher comes flying back. Ranma is there waiting for him. The big spine buster, and the preacher is laid out. Yes, Beckett. I can never Winston Beckett or something like that.
Called it the ring. I can't speak English apparently today.
You are not wording well today.
I'm not Englishing well today.
Big leg drop. Well, the KOW doesn't think we English well at all anytime.
I'm yanking hardcore today.
Right? All of us colonists over here. Only a 1 count that time. The preacher showing some resiliency as he gets his shoulder up. Yoshiro lifting the preacher up. The preacher responding by jumping up, getting a big eye rake. The preacher off the ropes. High flying maneuver. Big wrist. He connects with a flying crossbody. And Yoshiro goes down. The preacher off the ropes once more. Flying leg drop, and you could hear it connect with Yoshiro's chest. All that air leaving his body, and again the preacher goes for the ropes to the well one too many times as Yoshiro is waiting for him. Drop toe hold, and the preacher's momentum stops dead in its tracks. You saw Yoshiro going to pick the preacher up. The preacher reversed it on him. Big jaw breaker, and there goes Ranma Yoshiro down. Preacher going in. Looked like he was going to cover and then thought twice about it. Figures he needs to do a little bit more damage, a little bit more wearing down of the big man. The preacher sends Yoshiro into the corner. The preacher going to the opposite corner. The preacher charging across, climbs right on up that big tree and begins wailing on him. Mia wants him out of the corner. Yoshiro's going to oblige as he grabs the preacher up, scooping him up, and pile drives him into that mat. Not exactly how the preacher wanted to come out of that corner.
Right now.
Don't make me get it going on Bon Jovi song.
I
The
know.
preacher...
I give love a bad name.
I was about to say that Ranma did, but okay, we'll go with you. The preacher getting a big boot right to the face, slumping down. Ranma Yoshiro backing up, catching his breath, trying to figure out how he low to get up. Ranma just waiting for him as the preacher gets up. Ranma charges in, grabbing the preacher up, climbing up the ropes with him, and here we come! The superplex out of that corner! 7 foot of Ranma Yoshiro on top of 6 foot of the ropes, and we got a 13-foot drop as the preacher takes it all.
Pretty much cowabunga off the top ropes.
The preacher in a lot of trouble. Ranma Yoshiro with the roll-up pin. We got a 1 count out of that. Both men looking a little worse for wear right now. Yoshiro, I don't know how much he's got left in him as he is breathing heavy out there. Still enough to get up. Super kick as he goes up. Yoshiro trying to lift him up, and the preacher responds with a couple of super kicks. Into the ropes one more time. Yoshiro in a bad way. The preacher comes flying off those ropes, and a 3rd super kick. Again, he's off the ropes. We got the discus clothesline as the preacher comes charging in. Yoshiro with enough ring knowledge to go ahead and nail him with that discus clothesline, laying him out. And now we've got Ranma Yoshiro just stomping on Ezekiel. The preacher in a lot of trouble once again. Nice drop toe hold as Yoshiro went to pick up the reputation of Yoshiro. The preacher comes flying across off the ropes one more time. Drop kick to the face, and this one does it. Yoshiro laid out flat on the mat. The preacher sending Yoshiro into that corner. The preacher going to his own. Wants to get that momentum built up. Wants to charge across there. And here he goes. Went for the big flying splash, the corner splash. Yoshiro catches him mid-air and slams him down. Yoshiro just a display of pure raw power as he caught the preacher mid-air and then slammed him in. Booyah! And that should spell it, booyah, bitch. And there we see it, the cover. Yoshiro's got the leg up. 1, 2, 3, and that is going to do it, ladies and gentlemen.
Ladies and gentlemen, the winner of the match and advancing to the 2nd round of the Royal Tournament, Ranma Yoshiro.
Wow, that was a hell of a match. I would definitely give it to the preacher. He held up far better than I thought he would.